The Earrings, written and narrated by Brian Terence. The ship bucked, and it felt as though the whole craft twisted in pain like a wounded animal. The captain and first mate stumbled onto the bridge, the captain leaning over the controls to try and see out of the cockpit window. How did they sneak up on us? There was no alarm, nothing. The first mate's voice was squeaky. He was on the verge of hysteria. Military stealth tech, nothing else is that good. In contrast to the first mate's, the captain's voice was almost emotionless. "They got a real warship on us, Captain," the first mate cried. "No, first mate, it's another pirate ship. I fear it's the Crow." Before the first mate could do anything other than swallow hard, there was a vibration felt through the floor. "All hands prepare for boarders, all hands prepare for boarders," the captain's voice sounded throughout the ship. Almost instantly they could hear the sounds of fighting, energy weapons being fired, the sounds of sizzling as the blasts struck flesh, the screams of dying men. All muffled through the heavy door. The bulkhead had sealed automatically. They could do nothing for the rest of the crew. At least they didn't have to smell the charred flesh. The two men could only stand and await their fate. There was a screeching and grinding, and the bulkhead door was slowly forced to one side. The corridor outside the door was crowded with armed men, the air hazy with smoke. Surprisingly, none of the men moved to enter the control room, but all stepped aside to allow a woman to stride purposefully into the room. She wore a skin-tight outfit that had the appearance of black feathers. They appeared to shimmer as the light struck them, but as much as the two men might have wanted to admire the woman's figure, staring at the iridescent material did weird things to the eye. It was her earrings, however, that captivated the first mate. He could only stare in revulsion. "Are they what I think they are, Captain?" he asked in a hushed tone. "Yep, that's all that's left of some poor sod," replied the captain sympathetically. The woman stopped and delicately flicked one of her earrings with a black painted fingernail. Looking at the captain, she said, "I always did have more balls than you, didn't I, Captain?" She managed to turn his rank into an insult with her tone. "Is she the Crow, Captain? Is she going to wear our balls as earrings?" the first mate asked, his voice trembling. The captain's voice sounded tired, resigned to his fate. "It's worse than that, first mate." The first mate's expression was one of disbelief. "She's my ex-wife,"